Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Yaakov. This is being made from Jerusalem. Shalom, Stephanie. I like very much to hear your comments. I too, I'm an American citizen, living in Jerusalem for 22 years. I too go back to the time of Jack Kennedy, and in fact, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. I did, and the result is Humanomics. That's the new world-class international content convergence model for the post-collapse of the local reality globally. That's the reality of the history we're in. Barak is the man of history. There's a lot of talk on the media that he is not to be trusted. He is a lot of hot air. There's no substance to the man. Well, first, he's 45, he's young, and he's going to grow and develop. He's brilliant, he's moral, he's ethical. And most of all, he comes extremely highly recommended. Stephanie recommends him, and Michelle Obama, and the American people. That's good enough for me. And having said that, the tachlis, what's going to deliver the results for America, is Humanomics. What has happened is the collapse of the local reality means the end of men and mankind's exile. The term comes from physics. And it means this. It means that in 1991, the local reality in the Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union, collapsed. What was its local reality? Communism. In the next year, it happened again in Yugoslavia. 22 countries from both have emerged. Israel, 1995 with the murder of Rabin, its local reality collapsed. It was Zionism. This happened. The Twin Towers were collapsed 2001. 2003, the Ba'athist regime of Saddam Hussein collapsed in Iraq, Lebanon, and a number of other countries around the world. This is so. What was the model of exile? That was the local reality that collapsed. It was giving to receive. I give, I get. That's finished. That's exile. Now, in physics, if you have the collapse of the local reality, you're in the quantum reality, technically. However, we're not in the quantum reality. We cannot ascend. Man and mankind cannot ascend to inhabit the quantum reality because man is in denial. That means that man is saying no. Man and mankind is denying the end of exile. And in particular, Israel is denying this. Only when Israel ends the denial will the nations end the denial. So that's the first problem. And the second problem is to get Barack Obama elected as president. And he will implement the new economic paradigm. How will he do that? The framework of the collapsed local reality is Humanomics. As I said, it's comprised of two paradigms: the new cognitive behavioral science paradigm, receiving to give, and the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. I'm the author of both. The trilogy Humanomics is about 2,500 pages. It will be published on the web. Has a few hundred graphics. Wonderful. That in a quarter will get you a pack of gum. Okay, but it'll get you just a little more. And here's how. More specifically, President Obama, with a mandate from the Congress, will implement a world-class global technological infrastructure that creates tens of millions of jobs. It will take a $4 to $5 trillion investment, 60% of which will come from America's strategic partners in the G9, and the rest from America. It will be amortized over 20 years. By the end of the first year, the project will be, and its purpose will be to retrain, to retool the entire American workforce, to re-educate and retrain it in science and technology and all of the jobs of the new economic structure that it will bring into being, and all of its sunrise industries distributed throughout the country. And therefore, at the end of the first year, it'll be creating tens of thousands a month of sustainable domestic content jobs. Indexed wages will be double by the end of year 2, and by the end of years 3 through 5, they will begin to triple. And the whole purpose of this, they will be index weighted and matricized by regions, by states, by cities, and there'll be overlays, and there will be. It's a complex set of models, but the bottom line is this. The Humanomics model is designed to deliver participatory democracy, and the meaning of that is the fundamental extreme bias that favors Wall Street over Main Street is going to be ended. The development of the world-class global technological infrastructure based upon the new economic paradigm model, in particular, requires its world-class science and technology. That's a very formidable portfolio of intellectual property which I own. It will be provided in a way and through trusts that the American workers and workforce will receive the direct benefit of that. And what that means is simply this: the economy grew, and George Bush and McCain are saying, hey, the economy is terrific, we've had tremendous performance. They're telling the truth. It's been a great, but the percentage of the gross domestic product that has gone to capital owners and factory owners and share owners and institutional investors is hugely increased, and the percentage share to the workforce and the laborers, salaried employees, etc., 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 has decreased and shrunk dramatically, and has the shipping offshore of many jobs, because they can buy cheaper labor offshore. Now, this is the basic macro problem that has to be addressed, and Humanomics in general is the post-collapse of the local both east and west systems. The meta-narrative of 9/11, of the collapse of the World Trade Center, is the meaning of the end of the domestic system, the capitalist and a system in America, in the ways that it is profoundly biased and prejudiced over Wall Street and capital owners over Main Street and workers. Okay, so Barack is not a socialist. In fact, he's probably one of the best Democrats to come along in a very long time. Now, he doesn't have the depth and sophistication of the complexity of these models, but he will. And he will deliver it. He will say, this is the way we're going to do it. So, okay, there's just a learning curve that he has to ascend, and in office he will have the power, the rights, and the charter to do this. And by the way, at the end of the day, the Republicans will say, yay for Barack Obama, because he's going to get us from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion with a much we're going to Barack Obama's the man of the hour. He's the guy to deliver. Democracy has been a promise. There's been very little delivery, and that's the big complaint in America. And he will bring about the delivery of democracy, and that's no small challenge. And at the end of the day, it won't even be called democracy, because that's too narrow a definition. Humanomics is the convergence of both East and West, the best of both models, East and West. And the new economic paradigm is the new economic paradigm. It's the way we create wealth with the least cost method of mass production. And what are we producing? Knowledge, information, services, and technology for export. That's where the economy is going. That's the win-win situation. A triple gross domestic product, a currency tripled in value, full employment, no social security debt, no trade deficit. It's a win-win situation, folks. And this is my message to you, Stephanie. You've chosen. He is very much. He reminds me of Kennedy also, and in a lot of ways. And we must be thankful to God for such a blessed soul, and respond to his call. And he comes highly recommended. Again, I repeat. Here is Ann Dunham, Michelle Obama, Stephanie, and Pittsburgh, and the American people. Hey, folks, that's good enough for me. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov, formerly Michael O'Donnell, an American citizen living for the last 22 years. I'm a didactic scientist, the author of the trilogy Humanomics, and its two paradigms, the new cognitive behavioral science paradigm, receiving to give, and the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. I wish you blessings from Jerusalem, and in particular, Kabel B'Shvilatet is the Hebrew, receiving to give, for you, your family, your community, your nation, and for all mankind. Thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov.